Hello and welcome back to the Innsmouth Case with me, Bardon. Right, so I went to load chapter and it only allowed me to come back to the beach. So we're gonna do something different at the beach this time. Let's see what happens. The beach, the screeching of seagulls, endless white, well, brown, okay, fine, grey beach, and the sound of the waves. Clean, well, potentially clean water. The algae are way too dense to really tell. You walk in the sand and move a little closer to the waterline, curious about what you might discover there. Although the sea is not stormy and the tide is low, Innsmouth Beach is not really a touristy place. Everything is simply too grey. This is what you associate with a real vacation. Let's go with sea. The sea, on the horizon the ocean looks limitless. The rhythm of the waves is hypnotic. Spending time here is much better than visiting the dive bar next door. In the future you should make day trips to run-down coastal villages more often. Lost in thought, you keep wandering over the dunes. You notice how all the colours of the sea and the beach seem to be swallowed up by the strange light conditions here. You hold your hand up in front of your face. Your skin looks grey and matte. But still you feel relaxed. The murmur of the sea invigorates you. You feel a deep sense of longing within you, a serene sense of inner peace and freedom, until the techno music starts. A monotonous beat. The sound seems to come directly from the beach bar a few hundred yards off in the distance, which appears to be surrounded by about a dozen people. Given the changing weather, it's perhaps no surprise. What else is one supposed to do on this beach, apart from drink cheap cocktails and dance to bad music? Something strange grabs your attention. A kind of cage standing in the shallow water, perhaps 12 feet wide and deep. You walk to the cage. Let's diverge. Thanks to the low tide, you are able to get close to the strange object. The sea has retreated into the distance, and so the cage stands there, looking strangely lost. As you approach it, you take off your shoes and socks and turn your trouser legs up at it. Finally, you stand in front of the cage. There is a visible line on the cage, about 3 feet from the ground. The metal on the top half still looks quite stable. The bottom half must normally be submerged in water. Slimy black algae winds around the metal rods. What's strange to you is the size of the cage. Seriously, what are you trying to catch? Giant lobsters or tourists? You chuckle. A tourist trap. Yeah, how little you know. That's all fine. That's all you find here. You linger for a bit, then walk back to the sandy part of the beach. The cries of the seagulls increasingly drowned out by early 90s techno beat. One note, that's all some people need to enjoy themselves. One note in an endless loop. The owner of the beach bar has taken great pains to make up for some of Innsmouth's deficits. The bar is made from wooden planks and features a nice countertop and an exotic canopy made from palm trees. Admittedly, the palm trees are no longer green, they're grey and dried out, as if a demon has sucked the life force out of them. But it's easy to imagine that all this must have looked quite pretty once. The bar is flanked by wooden bar stools, and a few metres away towards the ocean, 2 rows of deck chairs have been pulled up so that people can get drunk while lying down. From a distance the bar looks busy, but now as you arrive you realise the party is already over. If it ever did take place. A dozen people hang out here. A few surfer dudes stagger about like zombies. Some of them carry empty cocktail glasses around. Some of them yell "Party!" and "Woohoo!" enthusiastically. Precisely this kind of people. A guy with long hair and sunglasses nods his head in time to the techno beat and taps along on the bar counter with his flat hand. There's no bar staff in sight. One of the tourist families you had spotted on the way here has spread out on the deck chairs. They're evidently trying to keep away from the party. You look around. Well, let's sit at the bar. You follow an instinct and sit down at the bar. This place reminds you of your favourite bar in Boston, only that here there's sand on the ground instead of vomit. You feel at home. Some hippie is poking at the slushy fruit remains in his cocktail glass with a straw. He nods over at you as you sit down. This is clearly not his first drink. We could just relax, but I think that's going to end up with us maybe getting in the same position as before. And although you asked him where the bartender was, we're going to ask him and then wait, I think. Where's the bartender? He stops poking the fruit in his glass around and pushes his bandana into place. Dunno. Things are really happening. You get me? Then Zeke took off. About an hour ago, and since then, no booze. He sighs. It's the kind of sigh that you might hear from a war veteran. Why would someone simply leave a busy bar? A bar with an unintended supply of alcohol? Something's not right. Let's wait for his return. Time passes. Your bottom slowly becomes numb on the uncomfortable bar stool, but by now you are too lazy to move. Finally, yeah, about time, some of the tourists proclaim. What's going on there? A bored-looking man enters the area behind the bar. You wonder how old he is, but it's really hard to tell. He's wearing a strange green shirt and a squiggly G is embroidered on the left breast pocket. This must be Zeke, the bartender. When word of the barman's return has spread, holidaymakers swarm the beach bar like bees around a honeypot. Sorry it took so long. Part-time job at the hotel, he says, Bardon, and attaches a sign to his shirt, which reads, Happy to serve you today, Ezekiel. You get one round of Innsmouth specials on me. He expertly lines up a row of tall, highball glasses and begins to cut up a pineapple. People start cheering. Go Zeke! Go Zeke! Two young men start chanting. They enthusiastically jump up and down while hugging each other. It takes a while until the first rush to the bar is over. You wonder what you could ask Ezekiel. Is this place always this busy? There's a steady rush on the bar. The tourists continue to enjoy their drinks. Nobody seems to want to leave the beach bar. Not bad for the northeast coast in late September. This place always is busy, you inquire? No. Bit busier than this weekend, but wait until midnight, then the party really starts, if you know what I mean. He winks at you. You say, no, what's going to happen at midnight? No, what's going to happen at midnight? You say, betraying your utter cluelessness. He pointedly rolls his eyes. Fine, you won't be on the VIP list then. Their loss. Well, the real party is happening, Ezekiel explains in a condescending tone. Right down by the sea. If you want to be hip, should go there. You feel a bit queasy to the stomach. Do you want to be hip? Yeah, I think this time around what we'll do is we'll try and take part in the orgy and see what that actually brings about. Yes, oh God, yes. Yes, oh God, yes. You'd kill to have some random dude call you hip. Count me in. How exciting. Only with great difficulty do you manage to keep your composure and continue the conversation. You wonder what you could ask Ezekiel. Let's try the Innsmouth special. You're curious. What's the Innsmouth special? An SCD? This is the best drink on the whole East Coast, baby. One of the techno guys sings songs drunkenly. Considering the way he holds himself up, it borders on a miracle that he manages to string a coherent sentence together. The surrounding people merely nod. Nobody seems to know which ingredients are actually used in the concoction. You try a sip. Better drunk than sorry. Cheers, Ezekiel mumbles without looking at you. He calmly continues to chop pieces of pineapple to prepare the next batch of drinks. You sip from the glass and the taste of strong alcohol is bitter on your tongue. The orange juice and pineapple pieces barely hide the high rum content. Admittedly, you've previously exposed your body to much worse fluids. It tastes... Let's get into the spirit. Party! Have another sip. Party! You shout and raise your fist into the air. Woohoo! Party! The other young people scream. Before you know it, you're part of a party crowd. If only you had known 10 years ago how easy it is to make friends. You raise your glasses. A young blonde named Cheryl, or Sherry, or was it Sharon? Anyway, she's in the process of scribbling her phone number on one of the hippies' wrists. Unfortunately, nobody has a pen at hand, so she uses a gull feather. But it's a thought that counts. You empty your glass and hand it to Ezekiel. With a heavy heart, you leave the man to his work. You've already spent too much time during the investigation at the beach bar. So what now? The sea breeze makes you sleepy. You trot towards the deck chairs in a haze. It can't hurt to just rest for a moment. It means you'll be able to resume your mission full of energy, or whatever. Most of the chairs are free, all offer excellent views of the sea, an increasingly cloudy horizon. You're spoilt for choice. I can see that I guess it has to be in a game like this, but there is a little bit of railroading where you end up in the same place, whatever choices you make during a chapter, I guess. Of course, you're going to somewhere more private. Stay away from it all. You decide on the deck chair that's the furthest away from the beach bar and its visitors. Yet, you're not alone. It's the family you've already noticed a few times today. Happily chatting parents who are constantly eating and their two chronically bad-tempered children. The four are hard to miss with their loud chatter and tasteless tourist outfits. They've settled down on the dock chairs, sipping on some soft drinks. Not too shabby. The dark clouds drawing together on the horizon worry you a little, but they're far away enough for you to simply enjoy the moment on a beach. Technically, you have been near a beach the whole time, but you couldn't really switch off. There was a haunting sense of danger, a feeling of paranoia that you simply couldn't shake off. Luckily, the paranoia has now gone. A cool breeze caresses your face. As you tune out the other tourists, annoying conversations, you listen to the murmur of the waves. The regular to and fro of the sea has soothing effect on you. Your eyes fall shut. The next thing you hear is a swishing sound. You wake and regret it instantly. Your head is pounding, it's cold, you're freezing. After you had settled down quite comfortably on one of the deck chairs, you now seem to be standing upright. You're pretty damn sure of that. You are standing upright facing the sea. The green, unhealthy glow of the moon is the only source of light in the dark night. Not only did you take a nap, but it appears that you slept through the whole day. You start to move in order to make your way back to the harbour, but something holds you back. Your hands simply won't follow you. You realise that you've been tied to some sort of pole. Your fingertips can feel a rough and splintery surface. A wooden pole. Have you been kidnapped? Hard to say. You try to remember the last moments before you fell asleep. Did you get drunk, or is there still residual alcohol from last night in your bloodstream? Son of a... you hear a voice say. They sound familiar, and you think it might be one of the guys who was demanding a drink at the beach bar earlier. And you had assumed you were by yourself. Hello? You ask hopefully. Hey, did he get you too? You wriggle around to try to look at the guy, but no luck. The ties keep you firmly in position, without much room to move about. So many questions. Hey, are you able to untie me? You ask hopefully. Ha! I'd love to, but I can't even reach my own nose that I've needed to scratch for half an hour. You curse quietly. The guy behind you seems to have been tied up just like you. Can't move, he clarifies a few moments later. Time to take stock of the situation. You've been tied to a pole, salt water spills into your shoes at regular intervals, and your socks are soaked. In front of you, the vastness of the sea. It would be relaxing, actually, if it weren't so terribly cold. Hey, what's that? Another familiar voice asks behind you. How many people there with you? Whatever they were talking about, you can't make out anything apart from the green, shimmering waves in the pale moonlight. What was it? I don't know, something. Maybe it was a fish. Wouldn't panic if it was a stupid fish. Alan, I know what a damn fish looks like. There! You saw something. Something broke through the surface of the water, only to immediately dive in again. Something smooth and slimy. You squint. It would have been better not to have had any of that cheap booze from the beach bar, but it's too late for that now. Overall, it would have been better to do many things differently. If only you could turn back time. You would work on your damn mission. That's right. Where's the child you're supposed to find? Not at the beach, that's for sure. If only you could turn back time. You'd do things much better. You would track down the child, collect the reward, and return to Boston triumphantly. The splashing sound. There it is again. It's coming closer. Increasingly nervous, you look over the waves. A shark in shallow water. An army of killer jellyfish? Or a giant raging crab? You're not really sure what it is you're looking out for. Your unhelpful brain comes up with more and more sea creatures, but you actually have no idea what these animals feed on. Something cold suddenly settles around your ankles. You scream, panicked because it's cold and wet and strange. Wrong, not from here, definitely not from this world. It can see you, they can all see you, they will... One of the men behind you curses loudly and you return to your senses again. Holy shit, someone behind you says, then falls silent in the middle of the sentence. Something crawls along your ankles, higher and higher, moving under the fabric of your clothes. Then there are more, 3 more tentacles slowly glide around your belly, along your arms and around your hands. You look at the creature that's tangling itself around you. It is milky white and slightly transparent, almost like a jellyfish. It has suction cups that stick to your skin. It holds you in a vice-like grip. By now, you're profoundly terrified by the ice-cold touch of the creature. You try to scream for help again, but no sound escapes your lips. You can hear a quiet whimpering from behind you. So you assume that the people you are tied up behind you can clearly see what it is engulfing your body. You try to gasp for air, but there is this pressure on your chest. The blood supply to your body is interrupted in several places and numbness sets in. Several places in your body alert you to the fact that you urgently need to change something about your situation. By the time your ribs crack, you've already passed out. Screams, the last thing you ever hear in your life, are the screams of your fellow prisoners. Okay, so that one was the Song of the Sea. Tentacles pull you into the depth of the sea. Innsmouth waves take me home to the place I belong. Okay, so that was another interesting ending. It was a lot of fun. Right, so we're going to try some more endings as well. So we'll see where we can actually get to from here. But for now, that is the end of that one. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you're having a good Christmas week. And I hope that you're not on your own at this time, because I know that it can be kind of a lonely time of the year. But if you are, hopefully this was at least some entertainment for you. If you're spending the time with family and friends, hopefully you're enjoying it and making the most of that time. But for now, that is it for this one. Hope to see you on the new one. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.